What is up, my nerd familia, and welcome back to another episode of Games y Mas, the podcast where we're talking about all things board games, video games, and a little bit of pop culture. I'm your host, Vic, and today we are joined by Cassidy, the tabletop ticker here. We have her back here on the pod. I'm excited to have her here again to talk board games. It was such a joy. The previous time we had her on, the first time on here, where we got to get a little bit educated on Tourette syndrome, and that was a very, oh man, that episode just filled my heart because I just felt so educated. It was awesome. And yeah, Cassie, you did such a phenomenal job explaining it, and I highly encourage you. If this is your first time listening to this episode, well, first of all, thank you so much for listening or watching wherever you can see us or hear us. But if you're wondering about the Cassie's episode, go check that episode out. It's a very educational episode. I thought it was very well spoken. You did such a great job, Cassidy, of explaining to us about the syndrome and the awareness and stuff, and it was so beautiful, and I loved it, and it was good. Today we have Cassidy back. We're continuing a segment that we haven't done in a minute, but we've enjoyed doing these, and we're doing Top Shelf or Yard Sale, the segment where we look into board games to decide if this game is worthy to be on your top shelf to show, like how I have in my background over here, worthy to show case to the world that this is a top shelf game that's worthy to be played, or sadly if it gets sent to the yard sale department. As board gamers, we think that's just like, that hurts our hearts. Today we're going to be looking at Wonderland War. Cassidy, I believe this is one of your favorite games that you love playing. With all that being said, guys, pull up a chair, grab some dice y acompáñenme a jugar. Cassidy, welcome back to Games y Mas.
Thank you.
How have you been? It's been a minute.
Yes, that last episode we did together, thanks again for having me on. And I'm super excited to be doing something that is like laser focused board game, especially on one of my favorite games, which is Wonderland War. So, we wrapped up Tourette Awareness Month, which is when you and I were talking, and that, I've been staying busy. I've been to Gen Con since then, and we have just played lots and lots of games, and I have some fun stuff coming up for my 1 year anniversary next month. So
let's go.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff in the works and having a lot of fun playing games.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you've been busy. You've been very active. I'm very jealous of your lifestyle because you get to travel everywhere, and I just get to sit here and, congratulations on your 1 year coming up for Insta. You've been doing a phenomenal job. You're doing great. You've had so many guests on your live. I love watching your lives whenever I get a chance to catch up on those. We just did a live back on Thursday, so that was fun. I had such a blast. It was great. Who cares about Instagram troubles? We overcome. We overcame, and we still did the live, and it was all right. Nothing can hold us down from having that live, and it was great. And
yeah, it turned out really great. And I was telling you earlier, it was one of my most favorite, and I had the most fun of all the ones that I've done. So yeah,
no, definitely. And I'm like, you know what, it's good. You don't have to butter me up, and I know you had better ones. You've had funner ones, Cassie. I know you did. It's great. It's good. I had a blast. No, I literally had a blast. It was fun. It was so relaxing. It's and for my first live, I never did a live before on Instagram like that. So that was so refreshing and so comforting. You did such a great job to make it so relaxed, so chill,
good.
So you did so. Sign me up for some more, please. If you ever want to do some more, I'm your guy. I'll do any lives. We'll talk about whatever. We could talk about anything you want to talk about here.
Love it.
Yes, definitely. So stay tuned for those, or check those out. Which brings me to our little bit some promotions here. If you guys are watching or listening for the first time, you guys can catch Games y Mas on all socials and on all viewing platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can catch our episodes on YouTube and Spotify or Amazon Music. You can watch and listen to wherever you listen or watch podcasts. You can catch us on our socials again, as we said. Give us a like or follow, or click that like and subscribe button, as the subscribers like to say. say, or the YouTubers like to say on YouTube. Give us a follow if you want to see more content. Grow the nerd familia with us, guys. And we want to. I love engaging with the board game community and the video game community. And if you guys want to talk about movies and anime and stuff like that, I'm your guy too. I love talking about all that stuff. Let us know what you thought about the episode. If you guys have any suggestions you guys want to ask us, you feel free. We just did an episode a couple weeks back with our buddy Raul. Someone suggested that we did a talk on board games for family-friendly board games for like parents and stuff, and someone suggested it. We listened and we did an episode. So if you guys got another topic you guys want us to talk about, please leave in the comments below. We'd love to talk about that. But enough about promoting my podcast. I also want to promote Cassidy. You got your Instagram channel. You got the Tabletop Ticker on Instagram. Are you on TikTok as well, or
no? The TikTok and I don't mesh very well.
I feel it.
The dancing and the lip syncing and the creative little clever things. I don't have that bone in my body. So
got you.
But no, I have the Tabletop Ticker on Instagram. I have a little bit of content up on YouTube, same name, Tabletop Ticker. Just some additional content and videos and stuff, but for the most part, you can find all my shenanigans on Instagram.
Yeah, and I'll leave a link below for anyone that wants to follow her. Please give her a follow. She's got some fun content. She's energetic. She's spunky. She's just so relatable. I love it. She's great. She's got some great lives she does during her lunch hours, which is awesome. And she also does some great stuff with awareness with Tourette syndrome. So she's doing some phenomenal things and board game content. I love it. Every time you play board games, I get jealous because I'm like, man, why am I not playing with her? I should be playing board games with her. Please give her a follow, please, and let her know that we sent you over there. Give her a comment on her posts and stuff, and give her some love. Give her a heart every single post she does. Give her a lot of hearts and stuff, like a lot of likes on there. And so we'll leave a link below there. But Cassidy, we're gonna get started here with the meat of the episode of Top Shelf or Yard Sale. For those that are listening again for the first time, we do a segment here at Games You Must called Top Shelf or Yard Sale, where we look into games to decide if they are worthy to be on your top shelf. If you buy this game and you want to showcase it to everyone, say, hey, look at this game. I bought this game. This game is amazing. Or if it's a game that you got it, you looked at the rule books and was like, I don't understand anything about this game, and I'm just going to end up, sending it off to the garage sale area or to, the hiding it pretty much, collecting dust. And as board gamers, that's like kind of blasphemous for us, to like a yard sale game. Like, how dare you? But we're looking at the lens of an intermediate board gamer or beginner board gamer. So if you're listening to this and have only played maybe games like, your knowledge of board gaming is like Monopoly, or you've played maybe Catan or Ticket to Ride, some of these like early, gateway-ish games, and are wondering what's next. What do I do next if I want to get into this world of gaming, this board gaming? This episode's for you. This is episode to let you know, hey, maybe this game is not for you, or it is for you, depending on what your likes. So what we do here is we have 8 questions that we've compiled here, and Cassie, feel free if any of these questions feel like maybe they're worded wrong, or if you want to like change the phrasing or suggest a new question. Okay. Please, by all means, this rubric is always changing. So please, it's always evolving. So if you want to add a question or change up a question, I'm happy to always change it up and feel like how we should phrase it. But right now, so far, we have 8 questions. In order for it to be a top shelf game, it has to at least pass 6 of the 8 questions. And so, we got some questions. Again, we're looking at through the eyes of an intermediate beginner board games. And if you haven't read the title, but we're going to be looking at Wonderland War. Do you know how many players is this board game, Cassidy?
It plays up to 5. So,
5,
yep.
And so up to 5 players. Very area control-esque type of game. You're duking it out, battling, doing a lot of things. Lots going on in this board game, so we're trying to break it down. Cassidy, do you want to give us, maybe if you can, maybe a 2 or 3 minute just overall view of what Wonderland War is for anyone that's listening that's never heard about this game? You feel free to give out as much as you can explain. If not, you can Google it, I guess. but we'll let Cassie know. She's the expert. She's played this game more than I have. I've only played it once. I've enjoyed playing it. It was fun. But Cassie, this is your favorite game. This is your jam. If you want to go ahead and explain to us, what is Wonderland War for those that are listening?
Now you're asking the person who has a difficult time explaining Monopoly to someone else. So just bear with me for a second.
I
But
got you.
yeah, Wonderland's War is an area control game, but there's a lot of different aspects to it. It's a bag builder. There's chips involved. There's area control. There's a little bit of combat. There's all sorts of stuff. So I have it here next to me for anyone who's watching in a little bit. I might show you some things. I'm pre-anticipating. I'm just anticipating some of your questions. But
Okay.
essentially, so Wonderland's War is from Druid City Games, and it is you can't play it solo. It's more just by nature of the game. It's not really suited for solo.
Yeah.
But it plays up to 5 players, and what you're doing is you're taking over factions in Wonderland where everyone is competing. There's madness that has infiltrated Wonderland, and everyone is competing, different factions, either the Queen or Alice or the Jabberwocky or whoever it may be.
Yeah.
The Mad Hatters is the other one. I'm forgetting. There's one last one that I'm trying to remember, but you are battling it out for control of Wonderland. And so the essential kind of piece of the game is that the board has different areas of Wonderland, different regions, and you will place different player pieces, like different pawns, in each of those regions based on the chips that you draw, based on certain action items on a player mat that you have. It's got asymmetrical powers, which is really cool. So I've given you kind of a description of the whole game rather than like the actual play of the game.
Yeah, no worries.
Because of something that I'll explain when we get into this a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the person who it's most victory points wins. It's as simple as that. The gameplay itself is a little bit more complex. So, but that's the basis of the game. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, like just like how Cassie said, it's a very area control game. And if you're wondering what the heck is area control, think of like if you've played like Risk, or if you played games where like you got to like take over areas, bring in your armies. Same concept where you're trying to take over these spots, claim them. And the more spots you get, the more either benefits you get, or the more victory points or points system you get. So that's kind of a gist of what area control is. And so if you're wondering, what is area control? Which I'd like to do a little plug-in. We did an episode with Raul where we talked about board game jargon. What is board game jargon?
Yes.
Throw names. So we did a good little educational video, a podcast episode. If you want to check that one out, go ahead, check it out. Where we talked about things like, we explained what area control is, what 4X gaming are, what what a Euro and Ameritrash games are. So we did a lot of those type of explanations. So if you're ever curious to wonder what these board game jargons we're going to be throwing out throughout the episode, go check out that episode, and then you can be a little bit more educated and wonder, oh, I know what they're saying now. I know what AP is now, and stuff like that. And so Wonderland's War. Fun game. Plays up to 5 players. Area control. It could get a little complexity, but we'll dive more deeper into those questions here. So we'll go ahead and get started with the questions here, Cassidy. Here, so we'll ask the 8 questions. Being that you are the expert of this game, that you've played it more than I have, you're going to be the final say of these questions. So if it's a yes, it's a yes. Whatever Cassidy says goes, and we have to abide by those rules. And so, if you disagree, let us know in the comments. Be civil about it, but let us know. We'll happily debate you. Cassie will happily prove you wrong of why these games is amazing. So I'm very excited to talk about that. But let's go with the first question here, and get ready because this is a tough one here. The question is this game an easy teach, or is the game easy to learn, or is it easy to teach someone that's first coming into the game? So how complexity is it if, let's say, I'm somebody new and I get this game and I open up the rule books and I read it. Is it am I going to need an English degree to understand what these rules are saying? Is it too much, or do you think it's fairly easy to pick up and learn? What do you think about this first question here, Cassidy? Go ahead.
I think they've done a great job with the rule book and breaking things down. They have a lot of diagrams, a lot of example pictures. It's very descriptive, but it's not overly text heavy. So I do think that that part of the rule book is accessible. The gameplay, as I was referencing earlier, is a little bit more complex than the average kind of beginner game.
Okay.
And so I think that the teach, as long as, and this is going to be a comment just based on, so I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm neurodivergent. Like I learn in a very
Same.
specific way.
Yeah.
And the teach for a beginner can take a while just to make sure you go slowly, step by step, and explain how each of the processes work. So I think that if you learn a certain way, this is one of those games that you need to inform the person who's teaching the game about what helps you learn the best, because it is a longer teach.
Gotcha.
So I think it's not easy for me to teach because I'm a bad game teacher. But if you have someone who's a really good game teacher, I think it would be a lot easier to pick up on things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe if we're looking at it as this is somebody new that just bought this game and they're trying to learn it, it might be a bit of a tough learn to just pick it up?
I think that what my recommendation would be, I think if you were just sitting there and reading the rule book, it might be a little bit tough. It would be a little overwhelming.
Okay.
But if you watched some videos on it, I think you would get it in no time. And there's some videos out there that are complete playthroughs of the entire game. And so those are, they're actually a lot of fun to watch. But I do think that it would be a little bit tricky as a new gamer coming in to parse through all of the rules. They're not hard rules. That's where that balance is. It's just it's the asymmetrical powers and the factions and things like that.
Yeah, like it's not hard to understand what your turn is. It just there's a lot going on that you're like, oh, geez, you have to remember. So I'll leave it up to you for the final one. Yes or no? We're going for this question, Cassie. What do you think?
So I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be real honest on that one.
Okay.
Just because I think I have to put myself in the shoes of. Actually, I just have to think back to the first time that I played the game.
Yeah.
I taught myself, and I was playing two-handed solo just because you can't really play the game that way. I was just teaching myself how to play that way.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And it took me about 2 hours to figure out what I was doing.
Okay.
But I was just a super newbie. So I'm gonna say no.
No? Okay. No worries. It's okay. The point of these segments is to be as brutally honest as we can for listeners. Again, as you, Cassie, being loving this game, you want to say yes to everything here because this is your game. But we got to think of the intermediate board gamer. So this is for you guys. So we're struggling for you guys. So you should appreciate this episode more because we're over here hurting ourselves just answering these questions. And
It
so
breaks my heart.
Yeah, it breaks our hearts. Yeah. So, but no, we'll go. So not off to a hot start. So we have no on easy to learn to teach. But again, I feel like if it's a game that you need to look up a video to kind of understand more of it, or you need someone else to kind of teach it. It's not an easy. I wouldn't say it's a good intermediate game to pick up and just get. You might need
to the table.
Might need to give someone else a round of someone else to teach it for you, and then so that we can kind of understand it more. And so we'll go with no for that one, but it's okay. We'll keep moving on. I still have high hopes for this game. So we'll go for the next question here. There's the questions 2 and 3 could be lumped together, but I kind of wanted to divide them a little bit.
Sure.
And I'm happy that you brought the board because you can showcase this because this game is we're gonna dive more deeper into this. Second question is, does this game have good game components? How are the dice, if there's like any dice, or how are the the standees, the meeples, the components? When I say components, are like how does the board look? Is it a nice board, or are we dealing with just cardboard? Little tokens, things like that of that nature. So there you go. She's showcasing the board right there. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So I had the luxury of I've got the deluxe edition, and I've got the actual chips that go with the deluxe edition, and the Shards of Madness expansion. I would say, and this is what makes it one of my favorite games, the art on this game is impeccable. It's one of my favorite things, and the production quality is also they've done a really great job with the draw bags where you draw your chips out of the bag, which determine and I didn't explain that very well, but in battle, your chips
Mm-hmm.
determine what happens
Mm-hmm.
during
Mm-hmm.
battle to take over certain regions. So the bags are really great quality. Here, I'm holding this up for those of y'all that are listening. ASMR, if you can hear that. But yeah, and then the deluxe edition also has minis, but and they're great quality minis. And there's a lot of them. So Vic heard me. I was like lugging this box over here because it's quite heavy for me because I have no muscle tone. But I think it's a great product quality. But if it's just the regular version as well, then I've have the punch outs like the regular standees and everything
Mm-hmm.
still beautiful. And so I think that you're going to have a great experience playing with the components either way.
So we're leaning more towards yes. This has great
Yeah.
components. Yes, so definitely. The next question you kind of talked about it a little bit.
Okay.
That's why I kind of like wanted to separate it. But the game, the third question is, does it have good game design? And what I mean by game design is like, how's the artwork? How's the design of the
Yes.
games? How beautiful is it? Is eye pleasing? So you kind of start talking. But if you want to dive more deeper into that one, of how beautiful, yeah, even if you're looking at the box itself, it's so beautiful,
Yeah.
handly drawn. She's holding it up right now, and yeah,
If
I
you
think it looks
put
good.
a black light on the top of the box, it actually shows up neon.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, the artwork is from Minnie Tremblay, I think is the right artist.
Hmm.
Um, I know people who have gotten tattoos of this artwork on their body.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that it's a certain kind of very colorful, very cartoonish type artwork. If you're into that sort of thing, it's got that sense of madness to it that really echoes the play of the game.
Hmm.
And it's very Wonderland esque. So it's very, very fitting of the theme. So I give this one a yes as well. It's got a
Okay.
great art design to it.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, on the game design. Yeah, I agree with you. Like looking at the box, and the artwork, and even just the board itself, it looks very pretty and very eye pleasing. They did a good job with the artwork. If you're a fan of Alice in Wonderland, you'll enjoy this artwork and style and how it's drawn and stuff. I mean, you got the Cheshire Cat in the very beginning. The game board, yeah, the player boards itself are really nice. And the factions you can be. I mean, yeah, it's very colorful, very. They put their time in there for sure. It shows that they put the timer. I mean, I even like how Alice looks like. She's got her little
Mm-hmm.
shield and her little dagger sword. It looks really cool.
Her
Um,
giant eyes are just I
yeah,
love the style of the art. It's great.
definitely. No, yeah, definitely. So I agree with you. I stand with you. Yes, 100%. Yeah, good game design, good game components for this game. We're looking good. We got two yeses, one no. Let's move on here. And yeah, we'll move on to the next question. But yeah, so far I still have high hopes. I think it's a be a good game here. So the next question here we have is, does this game have good replayability? Does this game that you can play and it won't get dull real quickly? Obviously, when we play board games multiple times, we kind of get the gist of the same actions at the same time. You know, the same thing every turn. You do the same sort of action, same things, but the gameplay mechanics or how you play the game, is it will it keep it fresh if you play it? You know, even if you're playing it maybe like once a month or something like that, is it will still remain fresh, or would it be like, oh, we've seen this before, we already know what we're doing? What do you think, Cassie, with this game? How do you think the replayability of this game is?
I think that it's got a lot of replayability to it. So it's highly replayable for several reasons. First of all, there's the different factions. So each of the factions, whether you're playing as Alice or the Queen or the Mad Hatter or the whoever, they have different powers. So each game, if you played a mix of the different characters, then you're going to have a different experience as to how they all flow together. Then also because there is a luck element to this with the chips, it's bag building. So you're intentionally strategically trying to build your bag, but at
Yeah.
the same time, you never know what you're going to draw out. So that's
Hmm.
going to change the game, as well as there are cards in this game that allow you to gain certain chips to add to your bag or to gain allies and things like that to help you in battle. And those are ever changing on the board, as well as the fact that is the expansion to it. And you have this agency to kind of make whatever choices you want to make in the game. And if you want to be a chaos goblin in one game and then be really strategic in the next, then you can do that. So I've played it many times, and I am one of those people that I call them comfort games, where they're my go-tos. And this is one of those, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet.
Okay. So safe to say that we're leaning more towards a yes on this question. Yes, it's very replayability. And I agree. I played it once, and I already saw the replayability value of it, thinking like, okay, I forgot what faction I was, but I felt like, if I play a different faction, it might play differently. Again, bag builder, you have that randomness, whatever action might happen with the bag building. Again, you always have that replayability. Like, it will always be different every time. Yeah, your turn order is always going to be the same every single time you play. It's not going to be something like completely different every time you play, but at least it keeps it fresh, and it'll be different outcomes, different varieties. You can strategize more. It's not like Monopoly where you just keep going around in circles trying to find things. Yeah. So definitely a good replayability game. But yes, definitely here. We can move on to the next question. Question number 5 here. We're making good progress here. We got 3 yeses, so we're looking good here. This question, I fear, might be a no, but we'll leave it up to you here.
Okay.
But does this game have a good setup time? How long does it take to set this game up? I know with the deluxe version, you have more components, and even with the original version, there's a lot of things going on here. With these games, if I own the game, what I like to do before I do the podcast was I like to time myself. I would like to time myself to just see how long it would take to set it up. And I'm talking about like just getting it out of the shelf, and then I start the timer as soon as I open the lid. And then I'll even do to the point where like I'm putting myself in the shoes of like an intermediate gamer. Well, I'll be like, I'm reading the rules of how to set it up. So I'll literally read one rule, like, all right, put the place of board here, and I'll see how long that takes. See how long it will take to set up. Usually a good setup time for me might be like a good, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 minutes setup time. If we're looking at half an hour to like 45 minutes of setting up a board game, that's probably too long of a setup time. That's not it's not a setup time where like if friends are over, I'm like, hold on, let me set this game up real quick and we can play. So I'm curious to know about what would you think? Do you think this game has a good setup time? Do you think it could be set up pretty quickly to play, or is it might take a minute to set up with the components of the game? Very curious. I know your facial reaction, Cassidy, is telling me otherwise.
I think am I allowed to go back and change the first one? And the reason here's my question about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Is please. I feel like that they've done a very good job in explaining the rules.
Okay.
In the rule book. What I feel is what drove my no on question number 1 is that there are a lot of rules to define the decision-making process. There's a decision tree as you are waging war in the war phase. So I don't think that the teach itself is difficult. It's just long. So maybe, I don't want to give it 2 no's already, but I do think that the setup time per this question is a no, because it does take a while to set up. Now, I can get this set up in 15 minutes at this point because I have it organized in the box. I have the deluxe, like the inserts and everything. So everything is ready to go. And I know where everything goes. But if I'm just sitting down for the first time as an intermediate player, it's going to take me a while. I think it took me probably 45 minutes the first time I did it. So, and it really does depend on what your threshold is. If you're going in with the expectation that it's going to take a while to set up and you don't mind that, then okay, that's great. But if you feel like you would get overwhelmed with a larger setup like that, then like the board I have to set up an extra table next to my table to accommodate for multiple players. So, that I think, I hate to say it. To say it, but I think it's a no.
So it's funny, when we played this game, I played it over Tabletop Simulator. So it did like instant setup. But playing this game, I'm like, man, like I feel like if I own this game, like, there's a lot of stuff to like set up. You got the board, you got your factions, you got like tokens. So I was like thinking about it, like, man, you don't gauge how like quickly it is because you're playing digitally wise. So like everything just instant. It's popped up and you have it set up. But if I'm playing this for real, like on like a live board, one, I think it has a big table presence. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I would agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a good like. I even like changed the question up a little bit, and I was like, this game does not have a good like first time setup. Like if it's like your first time
Yes.
playing, if it's like your like first earlier session setup time, where it's like it's not a good first time setup because that might dissuade you of playing this game because like, oh, it's too long, it takes too long. But like if you've been playing along like as much as Cassidy has been playing, she's got it down to the T. Where it's like, okay, I got my inserts, I got everything, I can set it up in 15 minutes. We're good to go start playing. But for many of you guys that are maybe might not be playing this game as frequently, first time or early stages of the gaming setup time could be a bit longer. I think I might start rephrasing it where it's like first time setup, so like how long it would
Yeah.
take. And I would go with no. I would agree with you with no as
Yeah.
well. It's no. We can revisit the first question if you like to, Cassidy, later on.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. I will say, as far as setup time goes, I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are familiar with the Lost Ruins of Arnak,
Hmm.
and I do think that Wonderland's War is not as complex to set up as Lost Ruins of Arnak,
Okay.
because I think there's fewer parts and pieces that are moving. It's just
Hmm.
that like I I don't think it's as complex, but it takes probably about the same amount of time.
For sure, for sure. No, I agree, I agree.
Yeah.
And Last Ruins of Arnak is another fun game. I love that game. That game's so much
Yeah.
fun. But we'll move on with the question here. So we have 2 no's, but that's okay. I think we can get the next 3. We can't get any more no's. If we get another no, then it becomes a yard sale game. If we get the next 3 yeses, then we'll make it. We'll make it here. Is this game decently priced? We're looking at. I know a lot of these games, these big heavy games, are pricey. I know for deluxe versions, they can be a bit on the pricier range. What I consider a decently priced game is you're not going to get these type of games for like $5 or $10. That's not going to happen. So when I go decently priced, I'm giving a margin of like ranging from like the 35 to like maybe like the 75, maybe $80 range is a decently priced game. For some of these games that we talk about. I know deluxe games could go and range to like the hundreds, $200 range, where you might be like, I might have to pause. I looked up, I did a little bit some research on the pricing of the game of just the regular version. Looking it up here at Miniature Market, we're looking at $52 just the regular version. Gamers Roll is $46.95. So that's again regular version, not the deluxe with the enhanced components,
Right.
just the regular version. Now the problem is all these pricings are decent price, but they're just out of stock. They're all out of stock. It's like a hard game to find. This is like a very hard game to find.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want to chime in on that one. What do you think? Do you think 52, 46? I mean, I've even seen 65.
No, I think for the amount of game that you're getting and for the replayability of the game, the quality of the art and the production, even with just not the deluxe version, I think that you're getting what you pay for. So
Right.
I do think that it's reasonably priced at that price point. Now, if you wanted if you really just think that listening to this and doing research and digging into it and maybe having played a friend's version of the game, that this is a game that you would like to invest the additional money in for a deluxe version, I do also think that that's worth it.
Hmm.
I had never played this before I bought it. I bought mine secondhand copy.
Hmm.
So it wasn't as expensive, but I think that you're probably just fine getting the regular version as well. So you get a lot of bang for your buck with this game.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Even with the deluxe version, I think yeah. I mean, yeah, deluxe version is more on the pricier side. We're talking the
Mm-hmm.
hundreds and almost $200 range.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of like you said, amount of replayability, the amount of things that are going on in this game, you get your bang for your buck. And yeah, even the 52 $46 range, I think you're getting a very good bang for your buck game. You're getting a lot of components, a lot of things going
Mm-hmm.
on. So yeah, I would go yes. I think this game is very decently priced. If you can find it, if you
If you can
this game,
find it,
if you can
yeah.
find it, this game is it's a popular game. Goes out of stock soon. So if you guys are in your local board game shop and you see this game, snag it up because it goes by quick. And so yeah, or check it out on Tabletop Simulator if you guys want to give it a whirl. you get on there for sure. So we'll go with yes. That's a yes, decently priced game. Okay, so we got the next 2 questions. Last 2 questions. Let's see if we can get yeses on this and make it a top shelf game.
Okay.
I think the next question, I think it might be a yes. Last question might be, we might have to think
Iffy.
about that one. Iffy, but let's see if we can do it. So next question is, does this game have good game lore? How is the lore? How is the background? Is the story? Are you immersed into this world of the game, or is it a game where it's like you're just this and you do this? Okay, it's more about the mechanics. A good one is Castles of Burgundy, a game where it doesn't really tell you who you are, or what you're doing. You're just building castles, whatever. It doesn't give you like a whole immersive storyline to get into. I know the guys at Operation Game Night are going to hate me for saying that, but yeah, I'm sorry that it wasn't a good lore game. Do you think this game immerses you into this world? I mean, it's Alice in Wonderland, so yeah, you're already kind of diving.
You
yourself
already
into
kind of
this world.
know, yeah.
So, but what do you think?
I have an interesting answer to this question.
Okay. Ooh.
I think that a lot of times when we think of immersive games or games that tell a story, we think of text narrative. We all are very familiar with Alice in Wonderland for the most part. So what this game does is I'm going to try and explain this succinctly. You know, that's not my strong suit. So there is a backstory to this where the madness has crept into Wonderland and everyone's fighting for dominance, right? And you're at this tea party and you're trying to vie for control. But where I think there's not a section of the rule book that has this massive story to it or anything like that. But what I think they do really well is tell a story through the mechanics of the game and through the artwork. So you really understand what's happening based on what you're doing in the game, where you're going, what the board says, what your player mat says, and what the cards say. So I think that this one's a yes. For an immersive experience. And the story is just not told in words, it's told in art and mechanics.
No, I agree. Definitely. Yeah, it's 100% how I felt too. It's a game that when my friend was teaching it, he was giving me the backstory of like, madness is taking over. Now we're all trying to take over, fighting for the lands in Wonderland. I'm like, okay, I can get myself deep into the storyline. If it was a game where it's like, we're just trying to take over lands and Wonderland's here, yeah, I'll get thrown off. But like, yeah, he explained it a little bit. But I think it does have a good lore story. Even if I'm like, I'll pull it up real quick. I'm even seeing like there's like digital like artwork that you can like buy, or like digital like posters that kind of tell stories in itself already for the game.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have that going on, there's a lot of lore rich history that you can dive into, or even create yourself. You can create yourself some good lore within this game, within the lands of Wonderland. So yeah, I agree with you. Yes, definitely a yes on this one. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this last question?
I'm nervous, Vic. Okay, hit me with it.
All right, here we go. Does this game have good game pacing? Is this a game that when you play the game, is it moving along? Does it move along? Now let's take away AP. Obviously, if you have AP, you're gonna take a long time. But let's say in a perfect world, we all know what we're doing. We all got our system down. If I'm the 5th player and you're first player, am I gonna be waiting around for a minute till it gets to my turn, or am I gonna be involved, or am I gonna be? Do I have to like make sure I'm paying attention, or is it a game that can easily fall into the line of, all right, well, it's Cassidy's turn. I know she's got it going on. She's got the things, but I still have enough time to like come back to me. I'm going to pull up my phone real quick and just kind of scroll the socials a little bit, or, kind of like not pay attention for a little bit, because there's so much going on within turns that it takes a while and the pacing is a little bit slowish. Cassidy, what do you think about that? What do you think about this one?
I'm not going to come out of the gate with my answer with the yes or the no flat.
Okay.
But I am going to say this. The game is evenly paced from player to player if you take out the AP factor, the analysis paralysis. Okay? I do think that there are some caveats to that. If you play with 5 players, this game is going to last a long time because of the different phases. You have your tea party phase, you have your war phase, and there's different activities that are happening in each phase of the game. What I feel like, I think that at different player counts, I would give a different answer.
Okay.
And that's why you go on BGG and you're going to see like the ideal player count that's recommended by community. It's the same with any game, right?
Yeah. Right.
That being said, I like a game where it takes a little bit of time to come back around to me, because especially a game like this where you're trying to strategically decide where you're going to go and what chip you might pull and what card you want to try and get, and then someone took that card, so now I have to decide on a different card. That I like having the time between players. Where I feel like this game really shines is that during the war phase of things, you're not just waiting, like you're engaged, and you can like, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Of course I have the hiccups right now.
During the last question.
Last question. I'm finally getting to the last question and I start hiccuping.
No, you're good, Cass. You're good. No worries.
Anyway.
This is not professional. We're just chilling.
I did see your cat go across the desk once.
My cat's going everywhere. Yeah, no, it is. It is what it is.
I do feel like Wonderland's War does a good job in keeping players engaged in the first phase of strategically planning what you're going to do and where you're going to go. And also you kind of do have to pay attention to what the other players are doing, because you need to figure out what their strategy is, and you can head them off. That's kind of the point of the game, is to try and head them off. So my answer to this question overall.
Oof. I'm scared.
I say yes.
Okay.
I think that it's inherent in the type of game that it is. If an area control game, a game that has like a combat sense to it and things like that, I do think it's evenly paced if you take the analysis paralysis out.
Got you. Right.
And I think, have to do that with every game that you're looking at to really, really determine that.
Like the good pacing. Yeah. Looking at BGG, it says, the best player count is 4.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's like most games too. Like most games 4 players are like the ideal count.
I see a lot of 4 players. Yeah.
It's a good pacing, good turn order, less waiting around, and gets the flow of the game, less time. I agree. I would agree with you, yes, on this question. I did have, when I was playing from Remember, I did have to like pay attention to what's going on with the other players, especially when they're war, whether what lands they're trying to go to, whether they're trying to take over, so I can be like, okay, they're trying to go here, maybe I should go here. I'm not sure if this was a mechanic in the game, you might remind me, but like if another player went to another land and they wanted to like to fight each other, and if like let's say I was adjacent to it, could I have joined in on that fight, or is it only between them two? I forgot how it was. Or like they give you like a chance to like, if I'm next to that land but I want to get on that battle because I want that too, I can join in that battle. I don't remember.
There's like, you can make a wager. I haven't. Yeah. So you would, it ends up being a battle royale, I guess, within the region.
Yeah.
And then each person is pulling a chip out of the bag at the same time. And depending on what the value of the chip is or the power of the chip, certain things happen that determine who wins that battle. And so until you like pass, and there's strategy involved in that. So there's multiple people involved in the war part of that in each region.
Got you. Okay. I remember. Yeah, I remember there was something like even when they're fighting that like other players can get involved or do some things like that as well. So that keeps the interactive still going. Like if I'm 5th player, I can still kind of get in on this and be like I want to wager.
You can wager.
So yes. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, it does keep you involved. Good game pacing. A game that if we're taking away AP from everything, it'll keep you involved. Obviously, with AP, everyone, analysis paralysis, a quick little recap is that when you're kind of taking a little bit of a long time on your turn because you're overthinking things, it'll make the game a little bit longer. Yes, it might cause people to kind of pull out their phone because they're waiting on somebody or whatever. But taking it away aside, I think it has a great pacing. I agree with you. And with that being said, we finished all 8 questions, Cassidy, and we've got 6 of the 8 questions. So it makes this a top shelf game. We did it. All
We
right.
did
Yes.
it.
Yes. Oh, man. I was getting a little nervous after that
Me
second
too.
no, but I think we did a good job. I will say, even though it's a top shelf game, for those that are listening for beginners, I would say approach this game a little bit with some caution. There is
Yes.
a lot of stuff that's going on. I think once you get past over those little hurdles of maybe the complexity of the rules teach
Yeah.
and the setup time, I think you can have a really solid top shelf game that you will enjoy playing with friends. I would suggest that if you're playing this game or looking at this game at your local board game shop or wherever you're getting it, I would suggest that if you're kind of curious, maybe find a friend that's played this game, play it first before you buy. So you can see if you enjoy it and then go ahead. But if you're like, no, we're just gonna take your word, which I hope you guys don't take our word just straight off the bat like that, and decide to go buy it, then you could be a little bit assured that it is a top shelf game. If I own that game, it would definitely be in my top shelf back there. Definitely a fun game. It's a big, fun, beefy game. I would love to play it again and play a lot. Honestly, if I'm being super honest, I would like to play it digitally wise because like the setup time, because the setup time for me kind of throws it off. 'Cause I'm like, there's so much
Yeah.
stuff, and then the cleanup time is just even equally as annoying because you have to like put everything
Yeah.
back and you're like, so
That's the
digitally wise,
downfall.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. That's a downfall for all us board gamers. Like the setup time is setup and close up time is just like, oh man, I dread
This
it.
this is one of those games that I'm eager. So I'm getting a new game table soon, and this is one of those games that
Eh,
I'm eager to get that game table because I would leave it out,
mm,
um,
yeah,
and I would just kind of not clean it up, and I would play it every now and again, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
put the cover on the table and play it on top of the table.
yeah.
So yeah, if you don't pull a Cassidy and just buy the game without knowing
Pull a
enough about
Cassidy.
it and like never having played it before, but and just diving into the deep end. But I'm also the person that my first solo game by myself was Sleeping Gods, so I had to figure that out.
Oh,
And
jeez.
um but I do think do your research, like we talked about.
Hmm.
Go into the game store, and sometimes if you go into a game store, they may have open copies that they will allow you to play at the
Yep,
tables in
yep,
their
yep.
store. So before you decide to buy the game, it'll be a harder game for an intermediate player, but that's one of those things that if you challenge yourself, and this is a great gateway game for
Deeper games.
harder, more
Yes.
advanced area control games.
No, I agree. Yes, that's definitely. It's a great game. It's very friendly yes, with the IP of it being Alice in Wonderland, so you can kind of relate to it a little bit more. You won't be so bored being like, I don't understand. I'm playing a war game or an area control game, which is just kind of boring. Gives you the more vibrant colors. It gets
Yeah.
you more hooked into it, and yeah, a great gateway game to more area control games. And yeah, I agree. So yeah, top shelf game, 6 out of 8. Great game. Check it out. If you've played Wonderland's Wars, leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought about the game. And do you think we did it justice? Do you think maybe we should have answered no on some questions? Go ahead, fight us in the comments. Let's keep it civil, but I'm open for debate. Cassidy will debate you and tell you that you're wrong. But let us know in the comments if you play this game. Let us know also if you want us to top shelf or yard sell another game that you like. I'm always open to suggestions to dive into games, to play, and to see if it's worthy to be on your top shelf. And so, as we're closing off this podcast, I want to say thank you so much, Cassidy. You've been amazing. You're always amazing. I always knew you're going to be amazing. I love chatting with you. I love hanging out with you. I always want to just talk with you for days and just hang out with you
Oh
for days,
yeah,
Cassie, because
it's
you're
the
just
best.
you're great. You're great. You're such a fun person. Your vibe, I love your aura. It's oh man, I love it. It's
Aw,
great, and I can't wait
thanks.
to. I'm counting down the days when we get the chance to actually play a board game together, and
Absolutely.
we'll play Wonderland's War. Let's play some Wonderland's War, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can take on the expert. See if I can challenge you.
I lose every time, don't worry.
Oh
So
no! I lose all the time on board games too, but I love playing them. So we'll
I
see.
know, right?
I'll compete with you to see who loses first.
There we go.
Yeah, see, that would be the competition right there. We're not winning. We're just trying to see who loses first
Right.
on the board games here. Cassie, if you want to go ahead and just maybe plug in again, we talked about earlier about your Instagram channel, but if you want to go ahead and just plug that in one more time, let them know where they can find you. If you have any cool things that are coming up that you want to share, the floor is yours, Cassie. Take it away. Yeah, let the people know where we can find you at and give you a follow.
Yes. So again, I am Tabletop Ticker on Instagram, and I have a bit of content up on YouTube under the same name. But the one thing that I have coming up. I love to tell stories about games and what my experiences were with those stories. So to celebrate my 1 year anniversary, as we call it, we're doing something called Board Games and Blessings. So November in the United States is Thanksgiving month. So it's a month of gratitude. It's a month of sharing things that we love with the people that we love. And so I've decided to do Board Games and Blessings all month long. We're going to be posting on November 5th a story about a game that we have just a really great memory of with people that we love and that we're thankful for. And then all month long, we're going to be doing Instagram lives. We're going to be doing discount codes, giveaways, and things like that to celebrate the month and celebrate all the fun things going on. So that is my plug for the next little while. I'm really excited to do this, and I can't wait to see everybody's stories about the games that have made an impact on their lives.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, that's Board Games and Blessings. Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, see, I cannot wait till November. I want to see all the posts. I want to see all the things. I'm eagerly waiting. I love it. I love your content, Cassie, as I always do. And yeah, that's awesome. Kudos for you for doing that. That's very awesome that you guys got to do that. And very, very excited to see that content, see all that stuff going on. But yeah, we'll go ahead and close it off here on the podcast. Again, I want to say, Cassie, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast. You're so awesome. I can't wait to have you more. I need to have you like every day. I need to have you on every day because you're just so awesome. You're such a vibe. I love it. But yeah, I want to say thank you. And then if you stuck around, for those that are listening and watching, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to follow us again on our socials. Give us a love, thumbs up, like, grow the family, the Nerd Familia. And yeah, very excited. So with all that being said, guys, nos vemos para la próxima.